welcome back. This week, these are my medicine boxes. So this week I wanted to show you and explain to you what's inside my medicine boxes. It probably looks way more than it actually is because it's just lots of packaging and boxes of the same drug, so do not be alarmed. But yeah, I thought I'd quickly run through, show you what I take and explain what each med is about. So I'm going to start off with the medication that I take every day, and then I'm going to move on to my pain medication box, and then I'm going to go on to my side effects box. So it'll make sense when I start to actually go through it, but yeah. So starting off with my folic acid box. So they're really small tablets, 5 milligram tablets, which I take every day. So folic acid is there to help us produce healthy red blood cells. So those living with sickle cell, our red blood cells die much quicker than the average. So they only last about 10 to 20 days instead of the average 120 days, which is a big difference. And this causes also something called anemia, and anemia is when we don't have enough healthy red blood cells in our body to transport oxygen to our tissues and our lungs. So it's really important that we take these folic acid tablets just so it helps us produce those extra healthy red blood cells, and then this will also help with our symptoms of anemia. For example, just feeling really tired, which is probably one of the biggest symptoms for me. So I try my best to take my folic acid tablets, even though I am terrible and I forget to take my tablets, and I just don't know why, because I've been taking tablets since forever, but I just can't seem to remember. And I've tried everything, I really have. I've tried those like boxes, which is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like, and then you put your little tablets in and you try and remember, and it could be right next to my bed and I'll still forget. I've tried with phone alarms. Anyways, I'm trying and it's working so far, and I have been taking them. But anyways, so folic acid. Then I have my PenV. So my PenV tablets, oopsie, also known as phenoxymethylpenicillin, so that's his actual name, but I just call it PenV for short because that is so long. But anyways, so PenV is an antibiotic and is used as a prophylactic, which means that it's there to prevent and protect our sickle cell warriors from bacterial infections, for example pneumonia. It's especially important for kids under the age of 5 to take it, just because they have a weakened immune system and their spleen is much more likely to get affected when they are younger, just because it's enlarged. But yeah, it's also important for those who's also had previous bacterial infections, for example pneumonia, to take it just to help prevent it. It's really important as well to take, and I try my best to take those 2 every day. But yeah, so that's PenV and that's folic acid. Then moving on to my pain relief box. So this box I use quite a lot, which is unfortunate. I try not to use it. I always try to use like hot water bottles, distractions, my incentive spirometer, all that kind of stuff first before going to my pain relief box, because I just don't like taking medication. But anyways, so in this box there's quite a few stuff. First things first, I will take paracetamol if I am in pain. So paracetamol can be prescribed and you can get it from the hospital, but it depends. Sometimes they don't want to give it out just because you can buy it over the counter, and it's so much easier to buy it over the counter, and it's cheap. It's like 16p. You can buy it like from some shops, and it just takes long sometimes waiting for pharmacy in the hospital. You're better off buying it over the counter, which I do. But yeah, so first I will take paracetamol. I will usually take 1 gram of paracetamol every 6 hours if I'm in pain. And then I will move on to ibuprofen if the paracetamol doesn't work. So ibuprofen is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. It's used, I take it mainly when I have aches and I have swelling, because that's what it's for. Ibuprofen also can be prescribed, but I buy it over the counter. It's much easier. Again, very cheap, less than £1. But yeah, ibuprofen does work well, but it can hurt your stomach, which is why I take side effect medications for that, which I will show you in a bit. But I take 400 milligrams of ibuprofen, and I take that about every 6 to 8 hours. And then if paracetamol and ibuprofen does not work, I will move on to codeine. So codeine is prescribed. It is a weak opioid, so your doctor needs to prescribe that, and you have to get that from the pharmacy. I don't really like taking codeine because it makes me feel really sick. And I just can't really eat throughout the whole day if I've taken codeine. It's horrible, but I have to take it sometimes when I'm in pain. When I feel like I cannot cope with the paracetamol and the ibuprofen, then I will take the codeine. And for that I take 30 milligrams. No, yeah, about 30 to 60 milligrams every 4 hours, just depending on my pain. And then if those 3 don't work, then I will move on to morphine. So I take 5 mils, which is 10 milligrams of morphine. And again, it makes me feel really sick and nauseous, so I just don't like taking it, but I will take it if I need to. But yeah, those are the 4 pain medications that I have at home. Some people have morphine and codeine at home, but some people don't. A lot of warriors have different drugs from each other. Like some people have fentanyl patches, oxycodone tablets, stuff like that. We're all very different, but I have codeine and morphine. And then if those don't work, then I will start thinking about going to A&E for some stronger pain relief, just because none of these have helped me. But yeah, so that is my pain relief box. Now moving on to my side effects box. So my pain relief causes a lot of side effects for me, which is really annoying. So I have been prescribed quite a few different side effect drugs. First things first, ondansetron. I probably take this one the most. Ondansetron is anti-sickness tablets. I will take it whenever I take codeine or morphine, just because it makes me feel really nauseous, and like I said before, I just cannot eat the whole day, which is really bad. But I will take ondansetron tablets, 1 4 milligram tablet 3 times a day, which is every 8 hours. It doesn't really help that much, so I have been prescribed cyclizine as well. Cyclizine is also an anti-sickness drug, and that again is 1 tablet 3 times a day, and that's 50 milligrams. They don't usually like prescribing cyclizine because it can also make you feel really drowsy. On top of the morphine and the codeine which I take, that also makes me feel drowsy, so then I'm extra drowsy at home, which is not the best combination. So I will try to avoid taking cyclizine, but if I need to, then I will. And then moving on, I have Senna tablets. So Senna is used for constipation. My morphine and cyclizine, my morphine and codeine make me very constipated if I take it a lot. So the Senna tablets are there for that. And then I also have hydroxyzine. So this is an absolute lifesaver, especially when I'm in hospital. I previously mentioned in one of my previous videos that when I take opioids, especially in hospital, like morphine or dimorphine subcut injections, I get very, very itchy. And hydroxyzine is an antihistamine which will help with my itchiness, and it does work really well. I take 1 tablet twice a day, and these are 25mg tablets. The only problem with hydroxyzine, it also makes you very drowsy and sleepy, which again is not the best combination, especially when you are on opioids which are making you drowsy. Which is why I mostly take this when I'm in hospital, when I'm being monitored as well. But yeah, it does work really well, and this is my go-to antihistamine. This hydroxyzine is also the one that's on my care plan. When I go to hospital, they have to give me this. But yeah, that is for that box. And then the last box, lansoprazole and omeprazole. So lansoprazole and omeprazole are very similar drugs. They're from the same family. They are both used to help reduce stomach acid and help protect and prevent you from stomach ulcers. I take ibuprofen quite a bit, which can affect my stomach. So I take lansoprazole or omeprazole to help protect me from the side effects of ibuprofen. Yeah, so they're very good. There's a slight difference between them. Lansoprazole is fast acting compared to the omeprazole, and they both counteract differently with different drugs. So it's important to know which one to take, and your doctor will prescribe that for you. If I take lansoprazole, I'll take 30mg, and then if I take omeprazole, I'll take 20mg daily. But I usually just take it when I know I'm going to be taking ibuprofen a lot. I don't know why they actually changed me from lansoprazole to omeprazole, but I don't really take the omeprazole, to be honest. I usually just take my lansoprazole. I prefer that one. But yeah, that's about it. So I usually distribute some medication from each box into 2 bags. One will stay in my car, and then the other one I will keep in my handbag, or whatever handbag I happen to take out that day, just because I like to carry medication around in case something was to happen to me. Just pain relief in most cases. Sometimes I won't even use it, but I get really anxious and paranoid when I don't have anything on me. Literally just in case something was to happen, I want to know that I am prepared. Because sometimes I need to try and make it back home or to the hospital, but I need something to cover me for the journey. But yeah, that is pretty much it with all my medicine boxes. It might seem like a lot, it might not seem like a lot to some of you. I try not to take most of them every day, only the ones that I need to. But apart from that, not really much more else to say. That's my medicines, my medication. I do have one more big box, but that doesn't really have anything in it. It just has like bandages, plasters. I've got a bit of Vicks in there, deep heat rub, stuff like that. Just stuff that can help me, which are not medication, if that makes sense. Sometimes I will keep my intensive spirometer in there. I've got like bandages in here, vitamins, antibacterial, more vitamins, antihistamine cream, just like random bits and bobs that might help me out. But apart from that, I hope you learned something new. I hope you found it interesting. But yeah, hope you have a good week. Peace, love, and cure.